My mother-in-law stole our credit card. She spent $20,000. And trigger warning for financial mistreatment. Buckle up, because this story is 20 plus years in the making. My husband, 29 male, and I, 27 female, are recently married, but we are college sweethearts and have been together for 8 plus years. Wow. For context, I grew up in a big family that wasn't always well off, but worked its way to upper middle class, and my parents are both still married. My husband came from a poorer background where his parents were divorced and his mom raised him. He really only saw his father for 1 to 2 holidays or when they were both visiting the paternal side's family cabin at the same time. He lived with his mom, her boyfriend or boyfriends, and one of his half sisters. My husband was upfront from the start that he intended on dating with the plan of marriage. As such, he was honest about his home life and finances. One day, a year into the relationship, he let it slip that his mother had taken 4 credit cards out in his name while he was still a child. His mom told him that she was paying them off. I expressed how this was not okay and that he needed to get those accounts and cards in his control. He was hesitant to do so, believing that his mom was indeed paying them off. He also didn't want to file for fraud because he didn't want his mom to go to jail. Understanding that his mom was a single mom of 2 kids, I gave her the benefit of the doubt, but still nudged him to monitor her progress on paying them off every so often. The year after that, my husband told me he had to file for bankruptcy because of something unrelated to the credit cards that his mother did. From my understanding, when he was a toddler, his mother claimed he was severely autistic and filed to receive disability payments from the state. They had been receiving these payments up until he was 23 or 24 years old. When I first met him, he told me he was autistic and truly believed he was. I have a medical background that includes experience working one-on-one with adults with autism and Asperger's. And I can say with 95% certainty that this man is not autistic, though he definitely has ADD, which can be mistaken for autism. Apparently, the state was reevaluating his case when he hit his early 20s and notified him and his mother. While reevaluating his case, the state was still sending disability checks. Instead of not cashing the checks like you are supposed to in this situation, his mother continued to cash them. A year later, the state determined that he should have never been receiving disability checks and sent an invoice requesting repayment of over $20,000. The debt was in my husband's name because the checks were for his disability. My mother has a background in law and finance, and I suggested they ask her for advice. Instead, he allowed his mom to help him file for bankruptcy and was under the impression that the debt was gone. Fast forward to 2025 when we are wedding planning and living in our own place. I suggested that my husband finally get control of those cards and accounts since we would be sharing finances. He agreed, but wanted to wait until after the wedding because his mom was already causing problems just with the planning, picking random fights, and being hostile to people we employed to help. It was getting to a point where we were considering disinviting her from the wedding entirely. We also met with the finance people in my family to plan how we would join our finances. My brother was, and still is, our financial planner, and he looked over our financials and suggested we meet with a colleague of his to discuss consolidating our debt. We met with his colleague who pulled up our credit reports, and we were shocked to see the scores.